behind me there's the Obertraun train station, and Obertraun is on the other side of the lake from Hallstatt. There's really nothing to see in Obertraun, nothing interesting. Most people want to visit Hallstatt, but then in Obertraun there is the cable car to go up to Dachstein mountain. That's, in my opinion, the best thing you can do in Hallstatt and the surroundings. To get from Salzburg to Obertraun, you would take the bus 150 from Salzburg to Bad Ischl. From Bad Ischl you can take a train to Obertraun or a bus to Hallstatt. It depends what you want to see first. But if you come by train from Bad Ischl to Obertraun, you would then take a boat to Hallstatt. But what we are going to do now is we are going to visit Dachstein by cable car. Get from Obertraun to the cable car, we have to take a bus. You could also walk there, it takes about 45 minutes. Last time I walked, but this time we're going to take the bus. The bus stop is here in front of the train station, and the bus will only take like 10 minutes or so. You get the ticket for the bus from the bus driver, like with most buses in Austria. There is a bakery straight ahead from here. Bakery has good prices. Obertraun and Hallstatt both are very touristy, about the most touristy places in all of Austria, I guess. They don't have very good restaurants with proper food and good prices. So we just got off of the bus at the cable car. That's the cable car station. There's the ticket office. We need to get our tickets still, and then you can see those signs above the entrance. 3 cable cars, an ice cave and a mammoth cave. Ice cave and mammoth cave are after the first cable car. And then there's Dachstein Shark, they call it. It's some metal construction. You don't have to go there. We will show you soon. There are the 5 fingers. That's the one must see. So that's the pricing structure. Panorama ticket includes all 3 cable cars. The 5 fingers, because they're outside, there's no entrance for that. That's a station where you have a nice view. That's that one, the World Heritage Spiral. And the Dachstein Shark, that's the one hike you can take. So if you just want to go hiking and have nice views, that would be the ticket for you, 33 euros. If you want one of the caves, but that's only 1 cable car, so that doesn't take you to the 5 fingers. That's only 1 cable car. After the first cable car, there are the caves. So that's 1 cave, first cable car. I would not recommend that because the 5 fingers are kind of like the main attraction of Dachstein. And the Höhlenkombi ticket means... And?
It's more expensive.
It's more expensive, yeah, but you get one of the caves. So you get a guided tour in one of the caves. You get a guided tour in both caves and the first cable car, but still you don't get to the 5 fingers. 44 euros, both caves, and you really don't need both caves. I would do the ice cave if I were you. And Dachstein Salzkammergut ticket is again one of the caves and 2 cable cars. And you don't really need the 3rd cable car. 2 cable cars are fine because the 2nd cable car takes you to the 5 fingers, to the World Heritage Spiral and to the Shark. And then the all-inclusive ticket also includes the 3rd cable car and it includes both of the caves. But in my opinion, I mean, that's nice if you can do all of them. Last time I did all of them, I tried to do all of them, but I didn't have time for the last cable car because it's just so much to do. So what I would actually recommend is the Dachstein Salzkammergut ticket with one of the caves, preferably the ice cave, or the panorama ticket where you don't go into any of the caves. Because with that you still get the 5 fingers. I would not recommend to take a ticket where you only get the first cable car in the caves because you shouldn't miss the 5 fingers. That's the pricing structure and that's the recommended way to do it. It's a bit confusing because there's so many things to do up there. And as I said last time, I went to the Dachstein High, the Shark. I wouldn't go there because it's just a random metal construction. But if you want to go for a hike, it's nice. So maybe if you take the panorama ticket where you only get cable cars and no caves, then you have time to go to the Shark. Otherwise, just skip the Shark. Yeah, and maybe only do one of the 2 caves because otherwise you also get in a hurry. We now get the tickets and take the first cable car. By the way, the Dachstein Cable Car is sponsoring our trip today. We get the tickets from them. Good. Okay, super, danke. Ja. Danke sehr. Straight ahead is the ticket counter for the reservations for the caves. You have to reserve a spot on the guided tours. You don't buy the ticket, you already bought the ticket at the Valley Station, but now you have to reserve a spot on the tours. Hallo, ich würde gern die beide Höhlen für Nachmittag irgendwann reservieren.
Für Nachmittag brauchen Sie nicht zu reservieren.
Okay.
Darf ich den Rest mal kurz haben?
Ja, ich kenne es ja. Ich finde auch, dass die Eishöhle interessant ist. Ja.
Okay.
Super, danke.
Gut, bitte.
It's already snow up here. Yes. So that's the way both to the ice cave and to the mammoth cave. The ice cave is to the left, the mammoth cave is to the right. And just as we did now, you have to reserve before you arrive after the first cable car. You reserve your spot on the ice cave or the mammoth cave tour. If you only do one tour, I would recommend the ice cave. The guy at the cashier just said the same thing. There is some kind of museums. The caves are the interesting thing, and the caves are really the only thing you can do here on this level. After we're done here with the caves, we take another cable car, the second one, to where the Five Fingers are, where the World Heritage Spiral is and where the Dachstein shark is. And the main thing are the Five Fingers. That's where we are going afterwards. So you see Ice Cave to the left. There's a film museum, other museums. Mammoth Cave to the right, and it's a short hike to the Ice Cave. A little bit longer to the Ice Cave, I think like 20 minutes. And to the Mammoth Cave, it's like 10-15 minutes. How about your Ice Cave experience?
It was amazing.
That's good to hear. I think so too. How was your Mammoth Cave tour?
Good.
Good? Better than the Ice Cave?
Ice cave is better.
I think so too. Would you do both Ice Cave and the Mammoth Cave tour?
No, just the ice cave.
Okay, I agree. Now we're taking the second cable car and visit the Five Fingers. So that's the station of the second cable car, and what we are going to do now is we're going to visit the main attraction of all of Dachstein. That's the Five Fingers. There would also be the Dachstein shark, but that's not really worth visiting, or it's worth visiting if you have enough time and if you want to go for a hike for like an hour and a half. Let's go. To the right is the Five Fingers, to the left would be Dachstein Shark. We're going for the Five Fingers. From where the second cable car stops to the Five Fingers, it's like a 20 minutes walk. Here it says 25 minutes, but you can easily make it in 15 or 20 minutes. The Dachstein spiral is a little bit higher, so from there you have a nice view. The Dachstein Shark would be down this way, but it takes like, it took me an hour to get there. I mean, I take a lot of pictures, but it takes minimum of like 45 minutes, I would say. So that's only if you have enough time and if you want to go for a hike around here. In summer there wouldn't be snow up here. I was here like a month ago, and a month ago there was no snow here. It's not a glacier. We're at like 2,100 meters, but now it's the end of October and now there is snow. So at this time of the year you need proper shoes. If there wouldn't be snow, you can come with any shoes you want. It's not hard hiking. It should be about 5 more minutes or less to get to the Five Fingers. Down there in the valley there is Hallstatt. It's Hallstatt down there. That's the Five Fingers viewing platform. Besides the caves, that's the main attraction of Dachstein and the main reason to take the cable car. To get here, you take 2 cable cars. And yeah, usually there are lots of people. Now it's October, the season is over, so now it's not as crowded. There are still people here, but in summer, Dachstein gets very, very crowded, just like Hallstatt. You can see it's called Five Fingers because it's like 5 fingers. Down there is Hallstatt. Hallstatt is like one of the most popular tourist destinations in all of Austria. And you can see it's surrounded by the Salzkammergut Lake District mountains. You can almost see all the way to Bad Ischl. We're also taking the third cable car. The third cable car only takes you to some kind of alpine pasture where you can eat something and you can go for a hike if you want. There's nothing special at the third stop, but I think it's the nicest cable car. It's an older cable car than the other 2 and the landscape is the best. It's like a panoramic view cable car. Let's have a look. After the third stop, we are at 1,780 meters, so we are lower than after the second cable car. This cable car went down from up there. We were told that there are only 2 things you can do here. One is go for a long hike, possibly a hike to another destination or a hike down, or visit some alpine pasture. The guy in the cable car said that's like 5 minutes away. The sign says it's like 10 minutes away. So it's just around the corner, but we are not going to do that today. Maybe we will show you next time. But an alpine pasture, you usually can sleep there. It's more for like hikers, simple accommodation, and you can get something to eat there. But there are plenty of places to eat here. There are 2 restaurants. After the second cable car, there is 1 restaurant after the first cable car. We took the 3 cable cars back and are now again where we were this morning, where the ticket office is and where the valley station of the cable car is. What we will do now is we will take 3 buses back to Salzburg. 1 bus from here to Hallstatt, another bus from Hallstatt to Bad Ischl, and 1 more bus from Bad Ischl to Salzburg. It's a journey of about 3 hours, and that's the same when you go from Salzburg to Hallstatt or here to Obertraun. It's quite confusing for me. It was very confusing for many years. I only found out after a few years that there are more options than just the bus and the train and the boat. I will make a separate video about that, about all the ways to get to Hallstatt from Salzburg. But for the Dachstein Cable Car and the caves and the 5 fingers, you always take bus 150 from Salzburg to Bad Ischl, and then from Bad Ischl you can take the train to Obertraun, where we started this morning, and from Obertraun station you can walk for 45 minutes if you don't mind, or you take the bus like we did this morning as well. And as I said, the 2 things we would highly recommend is the ice caves and of course the 5 fingers. There are many different tickets, but there are 2 possible tickets. There are so many things to do here on Dachstein. That's why I would recommend the ice caves instead of the Mammut Cave, the 5 fingers instead of the Dachstein Shark. So these are probably the 2 must-do things. You could buy a ticket where you can only get the first cable car in the cave, if you don't have that much time, or you get the ticket where you get 1 of the caves and all of the cable cars. The 3rd cable car is not a must, the Dachstein Shark is not a must. 5 fingers and the ice caves are a must. If you don't have time for 5 fingers and the caves, I would probably only do the 5 fingers. Came here twice now to take the cable cars. I think it becomes one of my favorite day trips around Salzburg. I don't like Hallstatt that much because Hallstatt feels like a tourist trap. But my favorite day trips were at Lake District. Hallstatt is part of the Lake District. There are many beautiful places in the Lake District. Maybe you saw our video where we walked from Salzburg all the way to Hallstatt, so through the whole Lake District. That's how we got here yesterday. And the other favorite day trips were Berchtesgaden and there's Werfen, where the ice caves are. I now found out last time and this time that the Dachstein ice caves are probably just as good as the Werfen ice caves. So if you want to see Hallstatt and ice caves, then you can also come here. There's really a lot to do, and Hallstatt is pretty to have a look at, to spend an hour or 2. Me and a friend, we walked from Salzburg all the way to Hallstatt. Hallstatt train station, actually. The train station of Hallstatt is not in the village, it's on the other side of the lake. We didn't take the boat to Hallstatt. We didn't actually go to Hallstatt this time. From Hallstatt train station, we took 1-stop train to Obertraun. In winter, there is no boat between Hallstatt and Obertraun. In summer, there are boats between Hallstatt and Obertraun, Hallstatt and Hallstatt train station, Hallstatt and the end of the lake. Like, there are many boats on Lake Hallstatt. If you want the easy way to go to Hallstatt, you take bus 150. You always take bus 150 if you want to come to that area. To Bad Ischl. Bad Ischl is the last stop of bus 150 if you come from Salzburg. And then in Bad Ischl, the easiest way to go to Hallstatt is by bus number 543. Takes you straight to Hallstatt. And then what I thought in the past is the easiest way is to take the 150 bus, the train to Obertraun, and then the boat to Hallstatt. But that's not the easiest way because there's a bus, so you don't need the boat. But if you want to come to the cable car first and then go to Hallstatt, you take the 150 bus to Bad Ischl and then you take the train to Obertraun. And from Obertraun station, you could either take a bus to come here for the cable car or you walk for 45 minutes, which is an easy and a nice walk. If there are any more questions, post them in the comments below. Otherwise, I wish you a nice trip.